the first thing that came to my mind was Matt Canada and Ben Roethlisberger finding common ground. And what I mean by that is this. I'm going to drop a Matt Canada film session probably within the next week or so. Yeah, I was in the midst of my travels and entertainment this weekend. I did find time to work. So I got some plays that I got some stuff that we can highlight and things like that. I already got like the groundwork of it. I just got to do a little bit fine tuning before I do the release of it. But the reason why I say they have to find common ground is the more I watch Matt Canada, the more I see the shifts in motions and just how exotic the actual plays are, even though it's ending up with a basic run, which for a basic run, I'm saying it could be a dive play, right? So a dive is just simply the running back lined up directly behind the quarterback, 5 to 7 yards, and he's either going to run straight downhill to the right or to the left. Quarterback gives him the ball, and that's that, right? But instead of Canada just saying line up under center and do that, it will start out with empty formation, tackle over, and then it's going to shift the running back to the right side of the field. The left tackle is going to bounce to the right side. Then you're going to get another shift, another motion. Then from there, the running back somehow ends up behind ball snap, and it's just a downhill run. But the reason why I see you got to find that common ground is some of the stuff that he was doing, whether it was at LSU, whether it was at Pitt, whether it was at any of his other stops. He typically had more athletic quarterbacks who were still doing some pre-snap movement as well. It was kind of wacky at times. I'm like, bro, like, I don't know if we're going to do it to this extent, but they got to find that common ground because I like how watching him do these things, it helped him when you're watching a Pitt versus a Clemson team, right? And you're saying, how did Pitt put up 40 points on Clemson? Pitt didn't have the same caliber of players as Clemson, but when you do the shifts in pre-snap motion, it makes those defenders have to lose that edge a little bit. It makes them have to taper their engine down, and now you're able to close that gap from a talent standpoint. And it was very prevalent as well when they played. It was LSU versus Alabama. In fact, Minkah Fitzpatrick was out there. It was funny watching. I was like, yo, that boy Minkah a dog. He was a dog at Alabama. It don't matter where he's at. He just makes plays. But just seeing how he would do different things to help out with that, to get these positive plays and keep them on schedule. I'm like, I can see us having to do similar things, especially because of how young we are up front in that offensive line, not a lot of experience. I can see us using some of these things, but like I said, they're going to have to find that common ground, Canada and Ben, because Ben is going to do some of that stuff. I do think he's going to be open to it. He's going to see how it can be impactful, but at the same time, you're not going to have Ben lining up at the wide receiver spot, have Najee doing the fake hut, and then from there, Ben runs back over here and he's snapping the ball. Like, you're not going to do all that. So that's why you're going to have to find a common ground. But I do think if they can do that, that can pay dividends, huge dividends come season time.
Actually, that's also what I have on my list too. I have a second.
I like it.
Learning the playbook, getting that chemistry on offense, Ben with Canada, receivers with Ben, receivers with Canada. One, just obviously, like you said, finding that common ground with Ben and Canada. Ben's been doing it for how long? He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. This is like a way newer system than probably anything that he's done before.
Which he has said also. He definitely said this is going to be different than anything he's experienced.
But I think both sides understand the benefit to this relationship because we need to improve the run game. It's not only last season. You're seeing a bunch of these stats over the past 3 seasons. We've been in like the bottom 3 or 4 in the league. So if this system that Matt Canada is bringing to the table is supposed to be the cure-all to fix the running game, Ben's got to listen. Like, the offense got to listen. We got to be able to be open to this type of stuff. And he's said that. He's like, you know what, I'm all in and learning the play. But I don't know if he said that, but I've heard other teammates saying, like, Ben seems to be really studying the playbook.
Ben, this would have been when he did that interview. We came here and talked about some of the comments he made. Excuse me. But I was actually able to hear, remember I was saying the audio part of it because one of the stations I was on, and he did say that part. He was like, even though it's crazy, it's something I've never experienced. He was like, I'm completely open to it because I see the benefits of it. He was like, but it's kind of like learning a foreign language right now because he's never experienced it. And you think about the coordinators that he's had here, a lot of them have been similar. You know, even when you go from Haley to Randy Fichtner, even though
probably so much of Fichtner's came from Haley.
Exactly. And that was the thing because Fichtner was the QB coach under Haley. So it was still a ton of continuity there. Whereas right here, this is going to be different for him. Matt Canada, in terms of just his approach, his philosophy, it borderline, and I don't want to say this because, I'm going to say it, but I don't want it to get taken the wrong way because sometimes when you say certain names, it's like, oh, I like that. But then they think of the horror part of it as well. But think Chip Kelly, that first year he was in Philly. Remember when Chip Kelly got there, right? And that was the year where Nick Foles ended up getting his Pro Bowl. Like the offense was just crazy dynamic and everything looked great. This could be that. I feel like we can have that.
That offense was incredible.
The problem with Chip Kelly was when he thought that his scheme was bigger than the players. And that's when you saw him get rid of Deshaun Jackson, get rid of Shady McCoy, get rid of, Jeremy Maclin. So you would see him lose the talent and think that, oh, my scheme is so good, I can just put whoever out here. And that's where he went wrong. But with our talent, along with that scheme, this could work. And that's the thing. That's why I'm like, I'm excited to see it, but I'm going to need to see it preseason. And then, okay, once we get into the regular season, how are they able to do this consistently versus some of this top tier talent that we're going to face at the NFL level, right? But as a whole, though, I'm like, Chip Kelly came in here and we thought that it was going to be crazy. Oh, you can't run this style of offense. This shifts the motions. You can't do these certain things. He was able to do it. So that's my thing. I'm just like, I'm with you. I'm with you, baby.
Yeah, this could be a really nice blend with this new style of offense. We have Ben, who has been successful throughout his whole NFL career, and goes back to the offensive line thing. Yeah, you hope like the little things are just gradually being improved upon in OTAs just because you are practicing. So you're hoping that happens. But really it is that rapport, that trust that is being built right now. And I think the receiver part of it, too, is pretty good because remember we had last season with Ben drawing up the plays left and right. Now, whatever you want to believe about that happening, I feel like everyone's got to be all in together. Not only just Ben in Canada, but like receivers got to learn this new system, page, too. Yeah, as long as everyone can get on the system with this play calling, Canada, Ben, receivers, that's... Honestly, you could put that at number one, too. I mean, you had it one.
Yeah, because I thought it was
could easily flip-flop. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. I mean, those are two really important things. O-line and Canada-Ben receiver relationship. So
I like it. And once again in the chat, man, I'm seeing similar sentiments right here. Let's see. Donald Copeland, first off, he says, learn the new offense. Just following back with what you were saying right there in terms of us all having to be on the same page. Then Roger Peavy, he says O-line number 1, but running game right at number 2. Then I see, NSMC99. I'm with you, baby. No more jet sweeps. Even though I will say this, the jet sweep is a big part of Matt Canada's offense. Like I said, when I do the film breakdown, I'll show some of the clips, both collegially and at the NFL level where it's showing up, but he always has some type of jet motion. Like a lot of that happens on tape and it has success. A lot of times it's faked, but then when they actually do run it, it's been games where he was at LSU, definitely, where the receivers were having more rushing yards in games than the running back. And this is why they had Darius Geis down there during that time frame as well. But you would see times where it was just the confusing element of it and how the defenders, they just don't know when to react. Think like the wing T, like some of the military academies run, but with way better athletes. Like you're getting that in Canada a little bit, man. So it's going to be interesting, though.
You got me amped up about that Chip Kelly comparison, honestly.
I tell you, beforehand, I was skeptical, but then when I deep dove and just kept watching the tape over the weekend, I'm like, I feel like this is going to be like that. Now, the biggest difference was they had Nick Foles. We have Ben now for what we are going to excel in from passing. They had the advantage from the running standpoint with Nick, right? Just
you thought he was a little more mobile?
At this stage, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. At this stage for 7? Absolutely, man. Don't lie to yourself like that.
I don't want Ben. I don't want Ben running the ball.
Okay. Don't do that, Deke. Don't do that to you. Deke, please don't do that to yourself.
You don't think Nick Foles and Ben, if they ran a 40.
Deke, don't do that to yourself, Deke. Don't do that. You heard me give the caveat, right? You heard me say we got the advantage from a passing standpoint.
I agree.
Because it was still some people that might even rebuttal that. But
did he run a little? I mean, you watched it recently. That's what I'm asking. So he ran the ball a little bit?
Trust me. Ben is... Stop it. You're lying to yourself if you think that Ben at this age was on any...
No, I just think he can move better than Foles moves so awkwardly.
No, bro. Have you seen Ben move? No, you haven't.
I'm not saying...
You're thinking of like maybe 10 years ago.
I'm not saying he's fast.
Do you remember
the
Giants game? The opening game of the year when he ran for 13 yards and it took like 45 seconds. Do you remember that?
I'm not saying he's fast. I'm just saying his movements aren't as awkward as Foles. He looks really awkward back there sometimes.
Whatever you say. I mean, it's people that say Haskins is slow, and I'm like, bro, for a fact,
no, he's not slow.
But the same way you just made that comment about Foles, it's people that think Big Ben is faster than Dwayne Haskins right now.
No, I'm just
That's
asking.
all I'm saying.
So you really thought he was
it's not a debate.
Okay.
From my perspective, not a debate, bro.
Oh no, I just want to know because I actually think, man,
maybe 10 years ago you could throw Ben, but you're trying to think of Ben back then. We're talking Ben today in June 14th, 2021 versus what Nick Foles was doing.
That's what I mean.
Then.
Maybe I'm thinking so much of Foles with the Bears or with Jacksonville.
He
looks like a statue. Like he doesn't look like he can move almost. So maybe he was a lot faster back then. You know what I mean?
But have you seen Ben run last year? Did you see what he looked like last year? Regardless of the knee, because some people brought up the knee, if it was hurt or not. Either way, have you seen my men move like in the pocket throwing the ball? Cool, I'm with you.
I don't want him running.
Him moving like no. That ain't.
That's what. Here's my point. Here's why I'm asking it is because did they do any design runs for Foles?
Situationally, yes, but Chip Kelly, remember his offense was still more zone read based, whereas with Canada, he's going to do a lot of smoke and mirrors, but he's still going to give you more of your traditional style runs. So it flirts with Chip Kelly, but
which is what we want with Harris. They have McCoy. It's different.
So that's why I said very similar, but the philosophy for Chip, you got to think he was dealing with at Oregon. Quarterback heavy, right? He knew he was going to have the best athlete at quarterback, so they got to throw or run. We saw with Dennis Dixon. We obviously saw with Mariota, right? Mariota could slide out there and run, or he could throw the ball. Nick Foles, similar in just the mindset, the body of it from NFL quarterbacks, because typically NFL quarterbacks are what? 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop back passers. That's it. Pro style, right? So we always talk about pro style. Even if a guy is considered great at ad-libbing, it's more so just how tough he is, right? He's able to throw guys off, but it was never a Mike Vick type approach of this guy can just run.
He was supposed to be the quarterback. Right. He got hurt, yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, you can just see the difference of Chip Kelly was more quarterback driven, whereas with Canada, he still operates through the running backs. So that's the part where I'm like, I like that. I think that this works better because you got a young guy in Najee Harris, which is, for me, that was my second thing. I'm like, you got to find how you want to implement Najee Harris in this offense. Running game, passing game, blocking. Figure out all the different ways to be creative to keep him as the focal point. If you do that with Ben and Canada getting on the same page, now you're going to have this perfect storm on the offensive standpoint. But yeah, that's my thought process with it, man.
I'm definitely excited, man. Yeah. I'm definitely excited.
And because I'm seeing more running game. Thomas Riley says running game as well. People are torching me. Oh yeah, bro. You like, I don't think you realize.
I need to watch Foles. I don't. No, I'm not. No, here's the thing. I'm not talking about.
I don't
Ben.
feel like you realize, like, because if you saw how slow Ben looked running that ball, I don't think you would be asking if any quarterback in the league was slower than Ben. That's all I'm saying, or not a better athlete than Ben from a running standpoint. That's why, like, when you said that, I'm just like, you thinking of like 7 is like just perfect in every aspect, bro.
No, bro. I just don't. I never saw Foles as a running guy. That's what I mean. For them,
you saw Ben as a running guy?
No. I'm just saying. It can't be that far off from Foles to Ben right now in terms of running, dude. I don't think Foles can run the ball like that.
If you say so, baby. Like I said, I mean,
if you watched it, I mean, that's fine. I can't be that off on that. For Kelly to be running like design runs with Nick Foles, like that seems like crazy to me. But if he was doing it, I can't remember.
In the words of Barilla 92, Deke Ulis.